Apple's first event of 2022 is right around the corner, and this spring event, by all accounts, is gonna be just jam-packed with new stuff. So let's break down all the latest leaks, rumors, all the news, and sort of give you a preview to the spring Apple event for 2022, and tell you about the 6 most exciting Apple products launching really, really soon. And a big thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Now, before we jump any further into this video, let me just say right up front that I've got some good news to report, and I've also got some bad news. Good news here is that Apple is going to make a big splash in 2022, and their first event of the year is supposed to be just jam-packed with lots of new products. But also some bad news here is that some of the leaks and rumors that we were led to believe were going to be true don't look like they're actually going to happen. And some of these rumored products that were supposed to launch in the spring look like they might have gotten delayed just a bit. But don't worry, because there is still a whole lot here to get excited about. And sort of in that vein, some of the latest news we're hearing from credible analysts like Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg is that the all-new redesigned MacBook Air with the M2 processor is coming in 2022. But while we thought it was going to be coming at the spring event, it looks like Apple might be saving it for some time later this fall. Now, I think it's safe to say that the MacBook Air has sort of gone through an identity crisis over the last couple of years. When it first launched back in 2008, it was this thin and lightweight MacBook that was really meant to be not your portable powerhouse, but just your portable machine. It wasn't gonna be rocking any video editing or doing any graphic intensive tasks, but it was great for really light surfing the web, email, stuff like that. It was just a really nice, light, thin machine that was a great alternative to the netbook that was sort of really popular back at that time. And then over the years, the MacBook Air sort of became more popular. It became better and more powerful. It sort of dropped in price. And then sort of when the MacBook came out, the new thin and lightweight champion, the MacBook Air was sort of in a weird position and sort of just became the default Mac for most people. But over the years, it sort of started to show its age. And even with the M1 processor these days, it's still a great computer, but it is definitely time for an upgrade. This 2022 MacBook Air should bring with it some of the biggest changes we have seen to the MacBook Air in years, giving it more power, more ports, more features, but still keeping it sort of targeted at the consumer as the sort of everyday Mac for most people. One of the biggest changes here on the outside is in terms of design. Apple is embracing this industrial design language on the MacBook Air, giving you boxier edges, squared off corners. It's a little bit more squared off than we've seen before, but I think it just looks fantastic. Also, you'll notice here, colors are coming to the MacBook Air. This should be a color lineup really similar to the iMac and iPad Air. So you've got a blue, you've got a green, you've got a yellow, you've got sort of a space gray black, and a couple of other little options here for you to choose from. And should be nice to see a sort of a splash of color on the MacBook Air on the outside, and also on the inside as well. Apple is giving us sort of a white accent color on the keyboard and around the display, something we really haven't seen since the MacBook Unibody of a few years ago. Some people love the look, some people don't like it so much, but I think it's nice and really just a nice departure from what we've had for years, and is definitely different and just a nice little splash of color for the new MacBook Air. A few other big changes here worth noting. The new MacBook Air should get MagSafe, similar to the MacBook Pro. We should get the all-new M2 processor inside, powering this entire computer, and the display is going to get a notch, which I know some people aren't so fond of, but also rumor has it this display should be a mini LED display. So it's gonna be bright, vibrant, colorful, similar to that display on the MacBook Pro, minus the 120 Hz ProMotion, which is still great, and should be a really, really nice feature on this all-new MacBook Air. Next up, let's talk about something that will definitely be at this spring event, and that is an all-new iPhone. Of course, I'm not talking iPhone 14, but I'm talking about the all-new iPhone SE 3. Now, there have been a flurry of rumors about this phone over the last few weeks, ranging from really phenomenal to, well, just a little bit of the same old, and it seems like as of right now, this all-new iPhone SE 3 is coming, but it's not gonna look like this, but probably more like this. There have been rumors that a bigger redesign is coming to the iPhone SE. It's gonna get dual cameras, maybe even a hole punch and Touch ID built into the power button, but as of right now, according to the latest leaks and rumors, it looks like that is gonna come to the iPhone SE 4 as early as next year in 2023. So a bigger year for the iPhone SE is coming, but probably not in 2022. Instead, this year with the SE3, it's probably going to be more of the same. As of right now, the new phone should probably be getting a spec bump inside with a newer A series processor, but it's probably gonna have the same single camera, the same screen size, same design, same Touch ID power button. Basically, on the inside out, it's probably going to be mostly the same, with the addition though of 5G inside of the iPhone SE3. So if you do want to take advantage of those faster data speeds, you can on this lower cost iPhone, but that will probably be the big story here with this phone. So temper your expectations just a bit. No hole punch, no pill-shaped notch, no combination of the two. Probably going to be a smaller year for the iPhone SE this year, with some bigger updates coming next year in 2023. Now, before we continue breaking down all the latest leaks and rumors on the Spring Apple event, let's take a quick break because I want to tell you all a little bit about this video sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. You're fighting champions against bosses, pitting good versus evil, with each of the over 600 champions coming from their own unique faction with their own history in this incredibly detailed world. And before I go any further, if you want to jump in and start playing Raid right now, click the link right down below in the description or scan the QR code on screen right there to download and start playing on your phone or PC. Now, those of you who know Raid know that there is so much to love about the game, and it's hard for me to really choose my favorites, but I do love summoning champions at the tavern, jumping into PvP arena battles, and even checking out some factions' best champions. But now, Raid has got a new mission for you because they just brought out their biggest, baddest, and scariest boss yet, the Hydra. It's a super-powered clan boss with multiple heads, and each head has got its own unique mechanics, like scaring your champions, cloaking itself in a cloud of poison, plus so much more. There is also a ton of new stuff happening in Raid right now. They're releasing a bunch of new champions, and also a brand new faction wars crypt for one of my favorite factions, the Shadowkin. And right now is the perfect time to get started in Raid. Like, seriously, right now. So click the link down below in the description or scan the QR code on screen to get started. And if you go through our special link, you're gonna get a bunch of free resources and a free mystery champion to help you kickstart your Raid experience. And I don't want to give any spoilers and tell you who it is, but trust me, you're gonna love it. All of these treasures will be available right here in the inbox, and these rewards will be only available for the next 30 days and only for new players. So get started with Raid Shadow Legends right now by clicking the link right down below in the description or scanning the QR code on screen. Install it, get excited, and I will see you in the game. Now, in addition to that iPhone, we also should be getting a couple Macs at this spring event, with 2 Macs that could be making their appearance at this event. That is an all-new updated Mac Mini and the all-new Apple Silicon-powered iMac Pro. The latest leaks and rumors right now point to a pretty significant upgrade coming to the design of the Mac Mini. We might be getting colors, sort of this two-tone industrial design on this small Mac, and a bunch of great ports on the back. We could see sort of a MagSafe style power connector with a great mix of HDMI, USB-C, and USB-A ports. Basically a really nice sort of refresh and redesign to this Mac Mini, and new processors inside as well. Basically getting an upgrade from the M1 to, rumor has it, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. So if you want sort of the power of the MacBook Pro in a more stationary sort of desktop form factor, and you've already got your own keyboard, mouse, and display, now this new Mac Mini should be just about perfect and should be coming hopefully very soon. The other big story here is with the long-awaited, long-rumored iMac Pro. This is the successor to that space gray behemoth that left us too soon, and this should be sort of the replacement to that machine and should give you a whole lot of power in a really sleek form factor. Rumor has it, as of right now, the design of this could be sort of an update to the iMac design that we had, so basically a bigger version of the current iMac, or it's sort of a mix of the current iMac and the Pro Display XDR. I don't know what a love child between those two computers could look like, but it could look a little something like this, and that would be absolutely amazing. This is supposed to pack a 27-inch mini LED ProMotion display. So you're getting all the best Apple display tech inside of this new iMac, as well as some new power with options for the M1 Pro, the M1 Max, and according to accurate leaker Dylan DKT, an even more max version of the M1 Max chip. According to Dylan, the iMac Pro might come equipped with a 12-core version of the M1 Max chip to really take advantage of that extra space and give you even more horsepower in this awesome all-in-one Mac, though keep in mind that according to the sort of latest leaks and rumors from the rumor mill, that this is supposed to launch at the spring event, but it could be delayed just a bit. As of right now, the sort of launch timeline is a little murky. Hopefully we see it launch sooner than later, but if it isn't at the spring event, it might be coming just a little later towards the spring or into the summertime, as Apple is still finishing up a few things on this new desktop powerhouse. So if you're keeping tabs at home, this spring event should give us an all-new iPhone SE 3, a Mac Mini, an iMac Pro, and there is still one more product that should sort of round out the event, and that is an all-new and improved iPad Air. Now, the design of the iPad Air probably won't change much, if at all. It still looks like a great tablet even in 2022, but we should be getting a spec bump inside with a newer A-series processor, probably the A15 Bionic, and we should also be getting center stage technology built into the camera on the front as well to sort of keep this in line with the iPad Pro and the iPad Mini, so it should be nice to see a new iPad Air. And speaking of iPad Pro, there have been a lot of rumors on that new iPad as well. We had heard an M2 processor is coming inside, an all-new design. We could see a MagSafe built in, wireless charging. We could even get an 11-inch version of the iPad Pro with a mini LED display. That looks like it is coming according to Dylan DKT. Super excited for that. But again, something to keep in mind is that this is not expected to launch at the spring event. There have been apparently issues with this new iPad Pro, and Apple may reserve it for a launch later on in the spring or possibly later on in the summer if it comes to that. So if you're holding out for a new iPad Pro, you might just have to keep waiting just a little bit longer. And in terms of timeline, according to Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg again, Apple could hold this event in March or April of 2022. So in just a few weeks, we could be getting sort of a spring-loaded event round 2 with a whole lot of new Apple products coming to a tabletop near you or a desk near you as some money departs your bank account as you get your hands on the latest and greatest Apple tech. And as always, what are your thoughts on this? Are you really excited for this all-new iPad Air? Do you just really want to get that new iMac Pro? Are you picking up an iPhone SE 3? Waiting for iPhone SE 4. What are your thoughts on what Apple has in store for 2022? Are you excited for this event? Yes or no? Let me know in your thoughts in the comments down below. And that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. I am Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.